And we are live. Hey guys, this is Rob from RB1S Studios in Marshfield, Massachusetts. And we're doing our live build session here today at RB1S Studios right from the hobby bench. And we've been working on this Tamiya Panzer 470 A. That's the all-cat version of the Jag Panzer 4, late war German vehicle. That was a interim or a stopgap production of the Panzer 4 to arm it with the L70 75 millimeter gun and to be built in the most simplest form. And it was designed by the All-Cat factory in Austria during World War II. Production began in October of 1944 and it continued up until March 1945 or shortly thereafter. And I think that the production run was about 280, 290 vehicles, so to speak. And they saw action on both the Eastern and Western fronts, closing months of the war. And many of the photographs and wartime photos, we have some factory photos, some in-action photos, and before-action photos. A lot of photos out there that are common, are either captured or just destroyed vehicles that have been lost in combat action. Some of them have been captured. In fact, one of them on the Western front were captured by the Free French and used against the Germans. And that's the vehicle that's currently today in restoration and preservation at the Saumur Museum in France. But just a quick little backlog on that. We had a little bit of a light turnout today for our build session, so we decided to record a video here and make it part 2 of our June update for RB1S Studios. So we just wanted to cover down on a few things and try to make the best out of this. We expected a little bit of a light turnout today. After all, it is summertime now, and a lot of people are doing activities outside. A lot of people are, our parents and have kids that are just getting out of school or whatnot, or on vacationing. We're coming up close to the 4th of July here in the States, so a lot of things happening now. Summertime wise, we do have some rain in the forecast here today in the Boston area, and so it's a rainy day for us. We got the day off from work. Very rare that we have a chance to have a day off like this. So when we do, we plan ahead for it, and we like to include our time here at the hobby bench for a live build session. We've been doing them off and on for a number of months now, and they seem to be somewhat successful. Again, today is a little bit on the light side as far as attendance goes. So we decided to change gears and rather than throw it in reverse and put it back in the holding cell, so to speak. We're going to record a video and make it part 2 of our update for June. So, and this will be part 2 of that update, and it's a continuation from the last one. So we're killing 2 birds with one stone today. We're enjoying some time at the hobby bench. We're working on the Tamiya Panzer 470 A. That's the all-cat version of the Jag Panzer 4. It's a great kit. It's going together well. We're taking our time with it. We're getting the pre-assembly stages here done, and it's going together great. A lot of small parts today, a lot of moving parts with the hatches and the upper hull, the roofing part. But we're working on that today. We did have a request earlier in the week. Last week we were at the bench and we posted up some work in progress photos. And we had a request from one of our followers that, they had asked us some questions about the tracks, the kit tracks, our Lincoln length, and they wanted to know how we made out with them. Well, we haven't exactly gotten to them yet, but one of the things that we do want to do is we're going to do a special segment that's just on the tracks. We're going to use the kit tracks on this. We're building this kit primarily out of box. If we ever do another souped up version of this, we'll buy a new kit and go with that and go to town with it. But again, the kit is great out of the box. It's affordable. It's like $44, $45, at least here in the States. It's a great kit. Lots of detail for a Tamiya kit. Easy to build. there's a lot of new tooling parts here, and there's some shared tooling parts that are common for their previous Panzer IV kits. Considering the fact that this vehicle itself was designed from the Panzer IV chassis, it makes a lot of sense as far as tooling goes for production of the kit from Tamiya. But anyway, great kit. We're enjoying this. We're doing a lot of research on this vehicle. It's one of the few German vehicles we don't know a whole lot about. It's one of the less common ones, but because of that, we're pursuing some research. So one of the things we did do, we decided to track down some information about this vehicle, and we started to look through some of our Panzer Tracks books. If you guys are familiar with some of those, going back to the Thomas Jentz and Hilary Doyle did the line drawings, and Thomas Jentz did all the information on those Panzer Tracks. Well, to walk things to the present, we both know, or at least most of us know, that Thomas Jentz has passed away a few years ago, and the book publisher Panzer Rex, if you guys are familiar with the Panzer Rex series over in the UK, had taken over the printing and different things, publications for the Panzer Track series of books. And then they ended up re-releasing some of the prints, but not all of the prints. Some of those books have been out of print for quite some time. And they released at least 3 volumes. So they had a volume on the Sturmpanzer IV, which is the Brummbauer, and then the munitions panzers that were associated with it. They did a book on the Berg Panther, which is the recovery version of the Berg Panther. So it covered the OSP-D, the OSP-A, and the OSP-G, and plus some field expedient models that they had, versions of it that they had made later in the war. But that one, and then also the Panzer Tracks on the Panzer IV-H, which covered the first production, the earlier productions, and the mid-productions, Panzer IV OSP-H. But those were the first 3 that they brought back into service or brought back into print a few years ago. And then more recently, bringing up to the past year, 2023, an announcement was made that Panzer Rex had purchased the rights and purchased the publishing rights and everything to all the previous books that had been out of print for a while. So they put up the announcement, and then, you know, getting things into the marketing strategy and getting the word out there, and they got a lot of response to it because a lot of people know that the Panzer Track series of books are well worth the pesos that you pay for them. They're the best out there. It's simply a great little handbook, quick hip pocket reference material. The line drawings are to scale. Wartime photographs. There's a lot of statistics in there. Production runs, production changes, modifications throughout production. But the Panzer Track series of books are now back in reprint. So they've gone back in and reprinted those first 3 volumes that I just mentioned, between the Panzer IV-H, the Berg Panther, and the Sturmpanzer IV, which is the Brummbauer. And they put out some requests that which other volumes would they like to see to be back in print. So based upon how many responses they get, they're going to be printing out copies of some of the others books. It's quite the series of books. They cover pretty much all the German vehicles, from the Panzer I all the way up to the Maus, or the super heavy tanks. They do a 2-volume set on paper panzers, which is great because it's like a lot of what-if stuff there. And then they go into all the obscure things like observation artillery vehicles, Panzerjägers, self-propelled guns, munitions panzers, special purpose bridge layers, you name it, flam panzers. So there's volumes out there for all of that stuff. And a lot of the major German vehicles or captured, they do a couple Beuta Panzer books as well for captured vehicles. They cover the French, British, Italian, Russian, US, you name it, they have it. Quite impressive series of books. So they're going back into print. They're coming back out, and we're going to have to go through some of our collection because a lot of our collection of the Panzer Tracks books is still unpacked from when we moved in here 2 years ago. So we're bringing those out, and we're going to be going through some of those and be looking at that for references. But we do have the original Berg Panther, Panzer IV-H, and Brummbauer books. We have those. We've had those for at least a couple of years now. And now those 3 books are back in print, and they're putting them out there as the initial wave of the Panzer Track series. So very welcoming. It's great to see that Lee Archer from Panzer Rex has taken over and is going to continue that series of books. And Hillary Doyle is still involved with the line drawings and all that stuff. He's a well-known, world-known enthusiast over there in Ireland, and he's, between the 2 of them, they're going to be moving the Panzer Track series forward. So be sure to check them out on social media. They do have some pages and that. You want to get on the email list because they give you updates, and Panzer Rex as well, and they'll let you know in advance when the new reprints are coming out. And what happens is that if you pre-order them, you get a pre-order price, and so it's a good deal. Definitely well worth getting. We'll be bringing some of those out in the next update video. We're going to go through some of the older books that you might want to look out for, especially on the Panzer IV 70A. They do have a book on Jagdpanzer, and it covers the whole spectrum. And then they broke every chapter down and every section down into specific vehicles in successive series of books. But a lot of information to put in. But one of the things that we wanted to bring up today is another very good series, and we had covered down on this in a previous video, but we have this book out here today, is the Nuts and Bolts series from Germany. And we had covered down on this in our previous video update. We'd received copies of Nuts and Bolts number 37, and now here in front of us, number 38. We purchased them from RZM Imports here in the US a few weeks ago, and they arrived quickly. And we have these out on our desk today because we want to do some reference checking and keep up to date on some of the different aspects of the Jagdpanzer IV 70A, and the Vomag versions. So that's what this book is about. It's definitely well worth having. I'm going to put that up in front of the screen in case you guys want to check it out. It's number 38. It's roughly around $45 to $50 range. You might be able to find them for less out on Amazon. Again, we got our copies of number 37, which covers all the L48 versions of the Jagdpanzer IV. Equally as good, definitely well worth having. But if you're building the Tamiya Panzer IV 70A, you're going to need this book especially, because it covers down on almost everything that a Panzer Track book would cover, but it also goes into the unit histories, what combat status reports, combat losses, different things like that, which units had them, and then it goes into sections of combat action and crew memoirs and stories and stuff like that. So it's great. There's some photographs of crew members and different vehicles. It goes through the captured vehicles, destroyed vehicles, locations where they were, and it also has a section here on color profiles, which is fantastic because the Tamiya kit only gives you 2 options for color profiles. So it gives you one for the Western Front, one for the Eastern Front, and both of them are like January 1945 or something like that. But this one here goes into the whole spectrum, including the Jagdpanzer IV 70V, which is the Vomag version, which is more common. They bigger, longer production, and it's, as far as photographs goes, there's more of them. But anyway, definitely worth getting. Get yourself a copy of this book. It also goes into some modeling stuff and some restored vehicles, different things that are in museums and all that. So it covers down on the full spectrum of the Jagdpanzer IV 70, V for the Vomag version, and the A, which is the all-kit version, and that's the feature of our kit here that's in front of us right now. So we wanted to cover down on that today, and we wanted to, excuse us, quickly cover down on what's going on here at RB1S Studios and why we're doing the build sessions and what to expect moving forward from Red Beach One Studios. So today, we had decided a few weeks back that we wanted to do a build session, hands-on build session. We put the word out there, put the announcement out there, but again, summertime, everyone's got barbecues and backyard stuff and mowing the grass and going on vacations and all sorts of stuff. Going canoeing, guys. But anyway, that's where we are. We just hadn't decided to record a video today, but now we are because of the light turnout. And moving forward, you're going to be surprised to know that during the summer months when things slow down, Red Beach One Studios is going to be quite busy here at the home front, at the studios, and we're going to be setting up and acquiring some better equipment than we have now. We've started to receive some new stuff, but the better stuff is coming, and you're going to see Red Beach One Studios is going to be moving forward with better quality video. We're going to have different camera angles, better lighting, a better background than what we have right now. But we are limited with that. We're a little bit restricted with that because of the space limitations that we have. But we're going to do some things and tweaks in here, some different things. We have some new lighting coming in. We're getting some new lighting equipment from Loom Cube, which is going to absolutely change the whole game plan for us because it will not only provide us with better lighting conditions here, but it will also provide us with better camera angles and multiple camera angles, which will allow us to do tutorials, live streaming, and a bunch of other things. So, and record better quality videos than what you're seeing right now. So then we're going to have to get some little bit better machinery in here and see if we can do something about getting the StreamYard live streaming, and then we're going to be setting up some live streams and stuff like that and online stuff, and I think the quality is going to be a whole lot better than what you're seeing right now. It's going to take us some time to familiarize ourselves with it. When we are fairly familiar with high-tech gear, but we have to learn as we go. So what you're seeing here now is still primarily the Fisher-Price M1917 Marine Corps issue version of it, but we've made some improvements. So we're no longer doing Fisher-Price, guys. We've moved beyond the big wheel and all that kind of stuff. So we're still stuck with the M1917 version, but it's a better version. So, you know, I think we've moved up to the M1944 version, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's where we are, and some major announcements coming up. We've been working together with some well-known people. We had a great conversation earlier this week, and during the week with our good friend Rick Lawler. Some interesting things going on there, and with his Patreon page and his video channel over on YouTube, some interesting things going on with that. So great conversations with Rick Lawler. We're going to be working together with him in the upcoming months. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, so to speak, and we'll use that term, behind the scenes. And we're going to be working together with Rick Lawler and some things. And he actually asked us for some advice the other day, which was pretty cool. It's always interesting to hang out with the pros, and when they ask you for your advice on something or what our input is on something, even if it's different from their own point of view, it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. We're glad to be included in that. And Rick did give us a good shout out on his Patreon page and included us in the conversation, and he put it up, and it was pretty cool. So we want to thank Rick for doing that, and we look forward to working with you once again. And we'd like to have you back on with our Red Beach One Studios channel once we get set up for live streaming. We're going to have Rick on as a guest, and we'll be live. But and then the other thing is that we have another announcement that we've talked about for some time now, is that we're still waiting on Mike Rinaldi's new SM4 book, the SM4 Boombar book. And that's at the printer, and it's going to be just a few short weeks before we actually have that in our hand. We're talking about July, probably next month. Hopefully that arrives here at the studios. We have a special deal worked out with Mike Rinaldi and Rinaldi Studio Press, and moving forward towards September and October, especially at the ArmorCon show, you might just happen to see that at our tables, because as you know, we're vendors at least ArmorCon, that we might have some RSP tank art books and some of the SM series books with us for sale. But we want to cover down on that a little bit further out. We want to wait till the SM4 book comes out, and we've already worked out a great deal with Mike Rinaldi, and we're going to be sponsoring him and supporting him in that manner. We're also going to be covering down on our own Tommy Brumbar late project to coincide with the release of his book. But we're going to wait. We're going to be waiting a little bit longer until we actually have the book here at the studios before we proceed with that. We don't want to put the cart before the horse. Sometimes we have a tendency to jump on things right when we see it, and then there's a delay, and it causes all kinds of problems for everyone. So we're trying to avoid that, and we're trying to be respectful. Mike's got a great situation going on there with Rinaldi Studio Press. He's really making some heavy-duty process getting those books out there. Right now, we actually have 6 different books in print from the Tank Art series 1 through 4, and the SM books. And the SM4 Brumbar book is still forthcoming, but it's at the printer. It's just a matter of waiting to get those books back and have them start distributing them out to people who have them on pre-order. It's been a long wait. And we do know that, we also know that the technical guide, the TG series, is right behind it. So some of you guys have had those on pre-order, including ourselves. It's been a long waiting process, and they're finally coming to fruition. So we'll let Mike cover down on some of his personal business with RSP and some of his live streams and special videos that he puts out. Be sure to get on his email list if you haven't done that already, and check out the RSP website. A lot of good things happening over there. He's having a special summer sale right now to try to move some product along. Great stuff happening over at RSP. And again, us here at RB1S Studios are working together with Mike Rinaldi. We've been a big fan and a big supporter of his Tank Art series of books. And Mike and I have been good friends for a long time, going way back to even before he had his own publishing company, when he was doing articles for magazines like Military Miniatures and Review with Pat Stansel and all that. And Mike was a great customer of ours, and he used to buy all kinds of different aftermarket items and kits and different things. So Mike Rinaldi and I have had a good friendship over the years. So it's great to be working with him for this length of time, and working together with him on some of his live streams and different things. We like to participate in that. And it's always been a great situation, because for us here at our own studios, we have our own community building process here, and we like to be inclusive of everyone. So one of the things we like to do is to promote some of our fellow modelers, like Rick Lawler, like Mike Rinaldi, and some of the others out there that they're doing similar things. Another good guy out there is Adam Wilder. He's been a great friend of ours throughout the years too, and we see that he's starting to come back into this scene with some of his projects and things. But we'd love to see Adam come back and get really into it. But you know, we all know that life gets in the way sometimes. But between those 3 guys, between Rick Lawler, Mike Rinaldi, and Adam Wilder, those are 3 big, well-known people, and you know, that's where we get a lot of our influence from, because we're personal friends with all those guys. So it's great to have that type of support, that level of support, that level of artistic quality and modeling, and some great things happening with that. So, and we wanted to give a shout out to a couple of the podcasts that we follow out there as well. The Plastic Posse podcast, they've been doing some great things. A lot of their latest episodes have been really, really good. They've had some really interesting guests on, and they've been covering down on some great subjects. We've got one of their shirts on today, Plastic Posse podcast, and We've been getting some of their swag, and in the earlier stages of Red Beach One Studios, they were very supportive of us in the very beginning, and we'd like to continue that moving forward into the future. So we're going to be covering down on some of the things that Classic Posse Podcast is doing, because we love the Triple P. Some of the guys out there, Scott Gentry and JB and TJ Holler and Jensen Taylor over there in the UK, Grant Mayberry, Doug Smith, and some of the others, and the two new guys that they have out there, Zach Grizzle and John Jackson Stanton. So anyway, it's great to see some of the younger crowd getting into the hobby and pushing things to the level that they're at, because it's simply mind-boggling for some of us old farts to see younger guys catching up to us and going beyond. It's pretty impressive. But that's the future. That's the future of the hobby, is to see the younger generation pick up and carry that torch forward, because there's a lot of us that are getting up there in age, and sooner or later we're not going to be able to see what we're doing. But anyway, we wanted to cut this quick video and cover down on a few subjects today, because our build session was kind of on the light side as far as participants go today, but we're going to run it till 3 o'clock, which is 1500 Eastern Standard Time. We'll do one again probably in August, I would say, because we want to use the month of July to catch up on some things here at the studios and get some good equipment in here, some lighting, and some more powerful machinery that can substantiate and can control the bandwidth of having live streaming and multiple assets involved with camera angles and all that sort of thing. It's not cheap, but we're going to do it. So this is the direction that Red Beach One Studios is going to go in. We're happy to be back at the bench in a more consistent manner, and we have a few projects in front of us we want to continue with, and we're going to be getting some work in progress photos up there, and later on we're going to be getting some video up too. So, but we want to thank everyone for checking us out. We're going to be putting this video up on our Telegram channel. Red Beach One Studios has an exclusive channel on Telegram, so be sure to get the app, download the app, create your user profile, and then subscribe to Red Beach One Studios. We also have a chat group attached to the channel, so you guys can participate and show off some of your work. A lot of the guys that are out there have been doing that. A lot of the guys that are in the chat now have been posting up work in progress photos and all this other stuff. We want to give a quick shout out to Mike Huffnagel. He's out there in Chicago area. So outstanding stuff with his Stug 3B and a Tiger one that he's been working on. So a shout out to Mike Huffnagel. And then Dave Karomi. Dave Karomi is a good friend of ours down in New Jersey. And we've been doing a couple of buddy builds with him. And we want to give a shout out to him because he happens to post up a lot of his work too. And then some of the other guys out there too. We want to happen to mention Dana Kopet out there. We know that he's been busy with some different things. He's a tech guy himself, and we know how both work and life gets in the way sometimes. But we're going to give a shout out to Rob Riviezo, which is the other podcast that we've been helped promoting. He's got a brand new podcast, the Modeling Insanity podcast. He had his very first episode drop about a week or so ago. So want to give a shout out to Rob Riviezo and all his crew out there at the Modeling Insanity podcast. We're going to be sponsoring with them as well, and we've been invited to be on their podcast in the near future. So don't be surprised if you hear this guy. That's Rob here from Red Beach One Studios on the Modeling Insanity podcast as a guest, because we've been invited, and we're going to cover down on that. And don't be surprised if you start hearing shout outs about what we do here on their podcast. It's always been great. So I think that's about it, guys. We want to get back to the model bench. We want to cover down on just a few things and bring everybody up to speed. Again, this video will serve as the part 2 of the June update for 2023. We'll be back probably next month. We're going to try to do at least one video per month. We can't guarantee more than that, but sometimes we break it up to part 1 and part 2, depending on what's coming in and what's new, depending on the workflows here, like at the studio. So a lot of things to look forward to. We'll be posting this video up to our YouTube channel as well, so don't forget to go over there to YouTube and look us up as Red Beach One Studios. You can subscribe to us, click the bell icon to receive notifications, and be sure to click the like button, and then there's a comment section as well. In the future, when we do live streams, we'll have a live chat as well, so you guys can interact with us and comment and all that sort of thing. So something else to look forward to. You can also find us on other social media. Look up Red Beach One Studios. We are on Instagram. Be sure to check us out over there and elsewhere. We're on Facebook too. So check us out on that. We have a bunch of different groups that special interest groups that we run. The Pacific War. We have a Korean War. We have a Vietnam War. We have a Marine Corps armor group as well. So a lot of good ones out there, and we're members of other groups and pages and all sorts of things, all related to the hobby, because we're community building here. We're working together. We're doing our own brand. We have to brand ourselves and create our own interests here and get a following going, and we're looking forward to that. Red Beach One Studios is growing. A lot of things have happened over the last year and a half. We've had some setbacks and all that, but we're definitely moving forward now, and there's no stopping. There's no looking back. There's no rearview mirror. But we're definitely rolling forward, and we definitely appreciate all you guys supporting us in comments. Our followers list is growing by the day. And again, don't forget to look us up on Telegram, because that's our main base of operations. We have to be the black sheep of the hobby world and be on Telegram. All right, guys. This is Rob from Red Beach One Studios. We're going to sign off today. We're going to get back to the model bench. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday. Backyard barbecues, beer, good times. And we'll catch you next time. Enjoy the hobby, guys. Let's hit the bench.